If you're not following Brick Center, I don't know what to tell you. Angel Reese now has more rebounds than points in her career. Angel Reese is supposed to be what? A top 5 most popular WNBA player in the league. And I don't give a rat's how frustrated she is. The Chicago Sky should suspend her for this.
Everything in life is not existing in a vacuum. Just because she said this does not mean that Caitlin Clark is not great and that people are not watching because Caitlin Clark is great.
Angel Reese just handed the Chicago Sky their most embarrassing nightmare. 9 turnovers, a technical foul, and moments that looked more like a blooper reel than WNBA skill. But here's what fans can't stop ranting about. Is Reese's hype completely overblown? And could her toxic court antics finally push her team over the edge?
Well, it's just 2 of 7 in 26 and a half minutes. 4 points, 12 boards.
Let's break it all down. You need to see this to believe it. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this, the Chicago Sky facing off against the Studs, a matchup that should have been competitive, but quickly spiraled into nothing short of a train wreck. At the center of it all, Angel Reese, who became the talk of the night for all the wrong reasons.
The people that are all about Angel Reese are not basketball fans. They're not showing up to attend her games.
The Sky didn't just lose, they unraveled, and Reese's game was a big reason why. 9 brutal turnovers, a cringe-worthy technical foul against Diamond Miller, and a string of misplays that left fans with their heads in their hands. By the end of the game, it seemed like Reese was trying to do everything, and yet it all fell apart. One of the lowest moments, that hip toss on Miller during a scramble, it wasn't just unnecessary, it cost her team a critical chance to stop the Studs' momentum. You could see it coming, though. Her poor footwork earlier in the game had already led to rushed shots and passes sailing into empty space. Every time she had the ball in her hands, it felt like chaos. Take one specific play in the third quarter. Reese tried to force a pass in transition, but it was picked off easily, and the Studs turned it into an easy bucket on the other end. The crowd's groan said enough. Fans started noticing something even more awkward. Her teammates seemed hesitant around her.
I mean, that's where we was at, folks, was Andre, because she can't score.
Instead of cutting to the rim when Reese had the ball, players would freeze or move away. In the fourth quarter, there was a moment when her teammate held the ball at the top of the key, saw Reese wide open, and still looked elsewhere. Whether it's a lack of trust or frustration with her decisions, the dynamic looked off, and the fans noticed.
This past week, all complicit, unfair. You know what? And to Angel Reese, they never should have done this. If you're not following Brick Center, I don't know what to tell you. Angel Reese now has more rebounds than points in her career.
Tweets flooded in, roasting Reese with memes, and one fan called her performance embarrassing enough to bench her for the season. It begs the question, what's the issue here? Is Reese struggling because of the pressure to perform, or are her poor decisions dragging the entire team down? Either way, something's got to give.
Nah, they will blame the coach, the plays, everything but Angel for this.
But Angel Reese supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world.
And with her technical foul streak mounting, are we looking at a possible suspension in her future? Let's talk about how that hype surrounding her might be the biggest problem. You know what's crazier? Angel Reese's stat lines are loud. Double-doubles, big rebound numbers, flashy plays. But when you break it down, there's a lot less substance than it seems. Those rebounds everyone talks about, a lot of them come from missed shots she put up herself. One expert called it self-assisted rebounding and said it should have its own column on the stat sheet. Sure, she grabs the board, but when you're missing layups only to pad the stats moments later, it's not exactly carrying the team. It's like scoring points in a game where you're the only one playing defense, and fans are starting to notice.
But nonetheless, the expectations is not matching the performance, and it hasn't been. Angel Reese is supposed to be what? A top 5 Most popular WNBA player in the league.
Compare that to someone like Caitlin Clark, who's basically the gold standard of efficient play. Clark doesn't need forced setups or padded rebounds. She delivers consistently in ways that move her team forward. Meanwhile, Reese's playstyle has been called the human embodiment of empty calories. It shows up in the box score, but it's not feeding the team when they need it most. While Clark creates opportunities out of nothing, Reese often turns easy possessions into missed chances.
Yes, so, like, we can equally say that they may grow. Yeah. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is a star, and we think she is better, and she will then, therefore, by the laws of logic, be better.
Caitlin Clark is averaging more assists per game than Angel Reese is averaging points per game this season.
The difference is impossible to ignore. Then there's her swagger, which, if we're being honest, is starting to wear thin. It's one thing to flex on the court when you're dominating the opposition, but when the team is trailing and you're throwing up bricks like a one-woman construction crew, it doesn't hit the same way. Reese has been seen celebrating after scoring even when her team is down by double digits, a move that's rubbing fans the wrong way. Swagger is fun when it's backed by buckets, one commentator said, and that's a hard truth Angel might need to face.
A lot of these other players in the league, too, because they've just put themselves in a space where they're just highly unlikable.
Everything in life is not existing in a vacuum. Just because she said this does not mean that Caitlin Clark is not great and that people are not watching because Caitlin Clark is great.
What's worse, though, is how this energy bleeds into a toxic on-court image. Confrontations like the one with Diamond Miller or slapping a clipboard out of her coach's hand stick in people's minds.
Lack of respect. This behavior can't happen. It can't happen. Look at that.
Backs it out of her hand. Backs the clipboard out the assistant coach hand.
It's not just about her game, it's about her attitude, and that can drag down a whole team. So the question is, are the Chicago Sky overestimating her value? This might be the time to reconsider.
And I don't give a rat's how frustrated she is. The Chicago Sky should suspend her for this.
Just like I stated, man, she's supposed to be a leader among young women across the world. And this ain't showing very much leaders.
Angel Reese's future with the Chicago Sky might hinge on something simple. Going back to basics. Turnovers, poor decision-making, and footwork issues continue to overshadow her potential. And let's not forget her reliance on padded stats, which might look impressive in the box score but fail to carry this team where it needs to go. One commentator called her play the human embodiment of empty calories, filling but not nourishing, and that hits hard. What do you think? Does Reese deserve the hype she gets, or is it time for Chicago to rethink her role? Because right now, the sky looks clouded.